Hey podcaster, I'm Tim Wahlberg, your podcast performance coach, with another actionable tip so you can sound like a pro and gain more podcast fans. Today's tip is how and why to use how and why. I'm sure many of you have been told, heard, or read about asking closed-ended questions. A closed-ended question is a question that can be answered with a yes or no response. There is a time and a place for them, but not so much in podcasting, where our goal is to have interesting and stimulating conversations. We want to ask open-ended questions. A lot of people think about the 5 W's. In journalism, that's what you do. Who, what, where, when, and why. Who, when, and where are pretty straightforward. What can be expanded on in many ways, but the gem of the W's, to me, is why. Why is often open to interpretation, and that's where the gold is. Opinion sparks discussion. For example, why is having a marketing budget so important to a small business? Well, there may be an obvious answer to your question, but you're forcing your guest to elaborate. If you ask why and they say because, hang up and get another guest. You may be talking to my 4-year-old niece. Now, the second word you want to use is how. I use how when I want to get into the specifics. It will help you and your listener understand the topic better. Using how instantly breaks the subject matter down. How does it work? How do you do that? How did it make you feel? The best thing about using how and why is that they're dummy-proof. You can use them by themselves.
How?
You just say it, just blurt them out. That's how they work.
Why?
Well, because that's the kind of words they are. They're words, but they're also questions.
How?
I don't know. It's the English language. Don't ask me. I didn't invent it.
Why?
Well, because I was busy doing other things. Plus, it was a long time ago.
Why?
Get out of here.
How?
Through the door.
Why?
Because I said so. I don't know why I let that guy listen to my podcast. I'll tell you that I have a little sticky note above my mic that has these 2 words on them. How, ? And why, ? They're my little life preservers. I can go to them anytime to expand on a thought or an idea. But remember, in the words of Spider-Man's Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. So use them wisely. Be ready for what comes after using how and why. You have to be listening and must be prepared to follow up, because this is where you go deeper and you might get some surprising answers. So be present. Don't get stuck on your list of questions and just go to the next question on your script. You might miss an opportunity. Sticking to your script in your lightning round of questions is fine, but you don't want to use how and why then, because you want quick responses. How and why are also great tools for solo podcasters and co-hosts. Use them to hash out your topic. Test your material. Have you told your listener why you believe what you believe and how you want them to do what you're telling them to do? Don't leave your listener hanging. Look at one of your old podcast scripts, or maybe one of your future ones. How many times are you using how and why in your questioning? Using these 2 little words will keep it simple for you, but challenging for your guest. They have the potential to turn an ordinary podcast into a great one. And I hope that's just the tip you need. Why do you want me to critique your podcast? Because you want your podcast to sound better, attract more fans so you can move forward in monetizing it. How do I do that? First, I listen to your podcast. Then I provide you with a 40-point report card and give you the steps you need to reach your goal. Book your critique now, and let's take your podcast to the next level. Visit podcastperformancecoach.com. I'm Tim Wahlberg. See ya!